This is my 1986 Peugeot 505 Turbo, and it's a petrol turbo at that, which makes it exceedingly rare. When these do come up in the classifieds, they're typically not in this kind of condition, and they are typically diesels. The petrol ones are, like I say, extraordinarily rare, and they're so rare in Europe, the turbos in particular, that people over there have actually imported US spec cars like this instead. And I don't know where they're finding them from, because this is the only one I've ever seen that's been for sale that actually runs. So I've had this car now for almost 3 years. It does run, but it does have problems. Every time I've wanted to get these problems fixed, something else has gone wrong which requires money spending on it. And typically, yesterday the fuel pump went on the VW Cabrio. That's got to be done, because it's just unreliable as it is. I'm going to go for broke and get this car done anyway. Now we are going to replace all the coolant hoses, because it does have a small coolant leak. We've also got a problem with the ground. When you go to start this car up in the winter, it does one of two things intermittently. It will either just click like a solenoid click into the starter, or it will try and start and not fire. Eventually, if you're lucky, it will fire up. So we know that the problem isn't the starter. We know that the problem isn't the fuel pump, because there's fuel definitely getting to it, and we know that the starter does work because it does start, and especially every other time of the year when it's not cold, it will fire up. So we determined, especially when I put the new battery in, which was a 650 cca battery, but as soon as you hooked it up, it dropped down to 180, that we had a ground problem. So that's got to be looked at so we can locate it. And that would explain the problems I have in the winter when it's cold starting it, because it's not delivering the amps to actually start the car, and it's not delivering it to the fuel pump in order to get the car actually started. It's like I say, it's a mishmash of both, and I know that it has no problem starting at any other time of the year. So we've got to get that sorted out. We've got to get these new hoses put in as well, and it needs new brakes. Then we will be good to run it. But let's just fire it up. There it goes. It's been just over a month since it was last started, so it just hesitated a little bit, but it's fine. And it ticks over beautifully. Now with this engine, the N9T in particular, I do want to keep on top of any coolant issues, because these engines are notorious for head gasket problems. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to play for you some video that I shot when I was considering a more professional YouTube channel, and I never did air it. And then once we get the repairs on this car underway, I'll keep you up to date with them. I'm Darren, and this is AutoAtlantica. See that wire hanging down? That connects to the sump. Oh, because this car has a dual mode oil gauge. When the car is running, it becomes an oil pressure gauge like you see in a lot of cars. But when the engine is switched off and the car's in auxiliary mode, and this was quite common on French cars back then, it actually becomes an oil level gauge. So that's what that wire's for. So the oil level gauge isn't reading right now. More ominously, neither is the rev counter, and neither is the turbo boost gauge. Oh, okay, we're good. Fired right up. There was a bit of dark smoke coming out the back, which again, that's just unburnt oil. So it definitely needs an oil change and a tune-up. Sounds pretty good right now. So as you can see, nothing from the rev counter. Turbo boost gauge is doing nothing. Fuel gauge doing nothing either, so it's going to need a new sender. Oil pressure gauge, oil level gauge isn't working because of that wire. Yeah, it's not looking too great on the dashboard, I'm afraid. Turn the lights on. We've got no high beam or main beam. It's doing nothing when I flash the lights. But it looks like we've got some illumination, not much. We need to change a lot of this, the illumination, the bulbs in the various gubbins. Yeah, a lot of it's just out completely. The radio's not working, although it's quite nice that is an original Peugeot stereo. And there is the forlorn sunroof. There is an issue with this bracket at the back is broken, so we will get to that at some point, but it is by no means the priority. So now we got nothing. So I suspect that could be starter motor. Got to be the battery. Yeah, there's just not enough juice. Right, so there's a little toolkit in here. I haven't even gone through this yet to see what's in here. This is always one of my favourite things. It's like we've got power steering fluid. That's nice. And we've got some motor oil, by the looks of it. Syntec. Okay, very good. Yep, synthetic motor oil. It's been on. So what's in here? Oh, okay. Scraper. Well, it's not going to need that because it's not going to go out. So this is the sunroof cover. This is the spare mud flap, and we've got some gaskets here. I don't know what this is for. This one, it's a manifold gasket, and this one is for the main sump.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Now, I thought that my XJ40 didn't like cold weather starts, but this girl takes the biscuit. So let's see how she does this time. We've got a new battery. Battery's been on the tender, as you know, just after I got the car. I put the old battery on a tender, which, unbeknownst to me, that battery was like 15 years old, and it kind of fried it. Let's see what happens. Oh, fired straight up. That's amazing. Now, she hasn't been started in several weeks when I put the new battery in. But I think what we'll do is we'll get her out, get that fuel in her. Ooh, I'm really happy. She sounds good. She's obviously liking that new battery. So we'll get some new fuel in her, get her out so we can have a good look around, get some pictures too. You can see that the temperature gauge is kind of climbing, so that is working, so that seems to be fine. Petrol gauge is not working. The oil pressure gauge I know is not working because the wire for it is hanging down underneath the engine. Speedometer I don't think is working either, and neither is the rev counter or the turbo boost gauge, so you know, that's all good. But now we've got the car out, actually in sunlight, you can see the state of the interior. It's absolutely fantastic. But look at this interior, isn't that superb? You've got to bear in mind that in the UK, for instance, there are 5 examples of these left, and only one is on the road. The others are all sawned, so which basically means that they are not currently road taxed for use on the road. So, and even in the other guises, there's not that many either. But I did look up the turbo in particular, and like I say, one left on the road. It's incredible. So, if you're watching from the UK, that's how rare these things are now. And in the US, well, I've never seen another petrol one in years. See some turbo diesels now and again, but not the petrols. So let's look at the cosmetics. Paintwork's very flat in places, it just needs a good buff up. But there's no issues, a little bit dusty now too, since it's been in the garage, but there's no issues on the boot with any lacquer peeling or anything like that. The pinstriping is fading away, but that's originality. The roof is just lacking in a bit of luster a little bit. That'll buff out. But the only paintwork issue really, you can see along the sides here, the lacquer has really started to come away on this side, on the doors, and on the bonnet in a number of places. What we can do to save this, I do not know. It looks like it's been, I'm not sure if it has been repainted. It kind of looks original, you know, that finish, now that I look at it in more detail. Again, on the doors, these are looking a bit lackluster, but it is original. As far as rust is concerned, the only rust that's on this car, and you can see it better in this light, is this bit here, and that's because this side marker. It's when the side markers were on the actual body panel in 1988 through 90, they put them into the bumper, but this was a common problem. But that's actually not too bad considering, and the other side's fine. And then there's another bit just along the bottom of the wing. It's just surface. There's nothing endemic at all, and the floor is fantastic. That's in really good shape. So you can see, there's no plate on yet. So in the boot, you can see this is the sunroof liner that's out of the car right now. But you can see underneath. Look at that. That's incredible. Clean as a whistle. There is no rot, nothing in here at all. I've ordered some new badging as well. I need a 505 badge. I have got the turbo badge, a new one, and I got a new Peugeot badge as well. But the seller had sold the 505 one, so I've got to look for another one. These are satin and not chrome, sort of like a satin silver finish. Okay, let's have a look at the engine. Right. So, as you can see, it's actually in pretty good nick. I mean, you know it's been looked after. There's the new battery. I don't think we've got any windscreen washer fluid in. When they get this old, I really don't like messing with these because they're great. Coolant looks good. Just need a little more, but it's fine. Brake fluid looks okay. This distributor looks new, so I think it's had some new leads to the spark plugs. We're going to change the spark plugs out as a matter of course anyway. This is the 2155cc Simca derived unit that they specifically used in the turbos. It wasn't used in any other 505. But we'll put a new air filter in as well. We'll get some new spark plugs in, new oil, just a general tune-up really. We may even swap these out again, but yeah, it looks fine. But then we've got to concentrate on the electrics as well, because there's clearly some issues that's going on, so we can make sure that all the gauges are reading again. I know some of the lights are out, the side lights are out, the two front markers, that's probably just bulbs. Oh dear. Now on these, the lights very old school. The lights are all on the stalk. So, oh, we do. No, we do not have side lights working. I thought we did. It's just the sun reflecting off them. But the headlights are working, and these markers that were next to the headlights, they come on with the headlights, not separately. But no side marker. Side marker at the back is good, and the rear lights are all good as well. And that side marker's good. The wheels are in excellent condition, as you can see. The bumpers are in great condition too. So I don't think it will take much for this car to get up to snuff mechanically. It's really the electrics that we've got to look at. But an amazing find and a beautiful car. So as you can tell, she's still ticking away quite beautifully at idle. Absolutely wonderful engine. And I really can't wait to actually get this car out on the road. We've got a couple of issues with the gauges. The fuel gauge doesn't work. It's never worked. The oil gauge is both a pressure gauge when the car is operating. That doesn't work particularly well, but it's also an oil level gauge when it's not operating as well. And again, in both instances, it doesn't work that well. Speedo works fine. Turbo boost gauge works when it feels like it. And then the rev counter, which isn't working at the moment, will work sometimes. So there we are. There's a lot to sort out on this car, not to mention the sunroof. I've got the panels in the back for it, but that needs sorting out as well. So there's a lot to do. It's definitely a project, but it'll be worth it when it's all done, this car, because it is glorious and it's just a fantastic drive. I'm Darren, and this is AutoAtlantica.